Welcome to Southwest Yard and Garden. I'm Curtis Smith. It's beginning to be summer, it's getting hot. It's a time of the year when people really think about the shade and their shade trees. We're at Osuna Nursery with Rick Page, and Rick's going to tell us about some of the shade trees that are available here. And what do we got here, Rick?
Curtis, we've got a multi-trunk mimosa tree. You also see them in single trunk. This one happens to have 4 trunks on it.
Makes a good shade tree, a nice fine filtered type of shade.
Yeah, kind of ferny looking. It has pink flowers in the summer.
They smell good.
Yeah, they also are considered a little bit messy, so you might want to consider that.
Those flowers, when they fall, turn brown and kind of make a mess on the ground. They got seed pods, which could do it. And I've also noticed we've got a scale insect, which is causing some problems here in New Mexico.
That's right. I had it a couple years ago, and I just took a scrub brush and just scrubbed it off with some soap. And you might have to do it a couple of times, but it's really worth it.
So
worth
soapy
the trouble.
water and a scrub brush.
Right.
That sounds easy. And right behind you, you've got an unusual type shade tree. I know they grow here in New Mexico.
Right, a Ginko Biloba. A lot of people recognize the name from the pill they take sometimes for memory.
And so it's a nice tree. Slow growing, you say?
Right, it's very slow growing. So I wouldn't call it a shade tree exactly. It's more of a specimen. It's got a real lush looking leaf. So if you like this kind of look,
it's not going to cast a big shade, but it's going to be a very interesting tree to have in the landscape,
right.
So it adds interest to the landscape. Well, that's a good tree to have, but it has a concern too. You want to buy only the male type because the female makes a fruit that falls to the ground and smells very bad. So be sure to get the right one. And then I see an oak. I like oaks. I grew up where oaks were common. This one turns red in the fall?
That's right. This one is a pin oak, and it'll give you a nice fall color. Gets pretty tall, about 40 feet.
Should be a good choice for northern New Mexico, at least up to about Santa Fe or so.
That's true. It likes it a little bit cooler, and it also likes a little bit of acidic soil.
Yeah, we don't have that. So in the really alkaline spots, we may have trouble with some of the oaks. Some of the other oaks may do okay. A maple.
This is an amber maple and grows up in northern New Mexico just naturally all over the place.
This would do very well up in northern. It turns red in the fall.
That's right.
Beautiful fall colors. Got the maple type of seed.
It'll grow here in Albuquerque, or in either southern climes, but it would need a shady spot.
Need to be under some other trees where the wind's protecting it and it's not dried out by the wind so badly. And here's a different maple.
Yep, this one is a red sunset maple. This will turn real red in the fall, bright scarlet. And also it needs acidic soil. It's got a bit of surface roots, which means you'd have to plant it away from plumbing or a house, maybe give it 20, 25 feet.
Okay, but this is going to be a good one for northern New Mexico.
Yep.
And again, it's going to not be a good one for out in the open, but more where it's a forested setting. I see a different oak. This is a much more finely divided leaf, but it's another oak.
Another pin oak.
Good choices in the oaks. Now we've got something with a green trunk right now.
Yeah, this is a Japanese pagoda tree.
Okay.
And these actually are wonderful trees to have. They put out panicles of yellow flowers in the summer, and they're not a fast-growing tree. They're a moderate-growing tree, but they're real showy with their flowers.
They work good up closer to a street in places like that. They don't become as large as some of the other trees.
Yeah, they're a medium-sized tree.
Here's one I like because I like the purple flowers.
Yeah, this is a fast-growing tree. This is a purple Robe locust.
Beautiful tree.
Yeah, it's very fast. You see it in the medians here.
Mm-hmm. Fairly fast growing. Nice flowers in the spring. Otherwise, it's a nice shade tree.
Yeah, again, somewhat invasive roots, so you got to watch for that. Place it away from plumbing or a house.
And you've got a red bud right here.
Yeah, this is an Oklahoma redbud, and it puts out a little bit darker flower. Everybody sees these in the springtime and just loves these trees. They're slower growing, though.
It's a nice tree. The pink flowers, but we'll make those bean pods. They're going to rattle all during the winter because the bean pods will stay on the tree. That's not a negative in a big sense, but if you don't like the noise in the wind, be considered if that's a problem. We've got birch.
Yep, this is a European white birch, and fast growing, takes a bit of water. It'll have a whiter trunk. After about 7 years, they get more of a white trunk. You see the peeling bark on some of these.
It's good for northern New Mexico. As we get down to Albuquerque, they'll grow, but it's really not one of the best for in here. The aspens will do a little bit better here, but as we move further north, this becomes even better adapted, especially where there's plenty of water, near a waterway or something. And here's a different birch. Nice peeling bark on this one.
Yeah, this is a river birch.
Okay, and again, it's attractive. This is not damage on the trunk, but that's just the way it does, which is one of the nice characteristics, to have the bark peeling back and it leaves these lenticels, little spots showing here. and it'll grow as a multi-trunk pretty well. And I see you've got several of the birch here, and as we
That's
walk
right.
along this avenue of trees, I see all kinds of things. The ash tree, that's one we probably need to talk about because it's got problems. It's been planted a lot, it's good and hardy, but
Yeah, it gets a beetle and a borer that have been attacking the American ashes, the green ashes. It's usually the ashes with larger leaves that like a little more water. The Modesto ash, the Arizona ash.
those which are native to the western U.S.
Well, those, I was going to say the Modesto ash, the Arizona ash don't seem to succumb
Yeah.
to that.
So they're the ones, better ones to look at.
Right.
Okay, well, Rick, we've seen some things, even some that are planted a lot but have problems, so we might want to avoid this in most situations now. A lot of trees. We've got a lot of choices, and we've only seen a few of the ones that are available, but shade is important in New Mexico, and we thank you for showing us all of these wonderful
You're
shade
welcome,
trees.
Curtis.